one step further. I'm gonna do a history lesson video, essay, stream, live coverage, since I'm like a history streamer, theoretically. Do you know who Alexander Dugin is? Hold on. I need a quick refresher on who Alexander Dugin is. Oh, there we go. Alexander Dugin, our favorite thinker ever and philosopher. I'm gonna read before getting into the interview. Boom. Alexander Garyevich Dugin, born 7th January 1962, is a Russian far-right political philosopher. Born into a military intelligent family, Dugin was an anti-communist dissident during the 1980s. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Dugin co-founded the National Bolshevik Party. Wait, hold on. He was an anti-communist but founded the National Bolshevik Party? Okay. Whatever. With Eduard Limonov, a party which espoused National Bolshevism. Jesus Christ. That's so incoherent. I don't even know what to do with this. You will understand from the interview. Thank you. Thank you for announcing that I will understand this incoherent mess that National Bolshevik Party seems to be. Oh, okay. I get it. Basically a fascist party with some elements of... I mean, that makes sense. It does have the word national in it. I'm predicting the interview will speak of national rebirth and stuff like that. I'm trying to predict what National Bolshevism is. Oh yes. Oh yes. Alexander Dugin, our favorite character. I mean, his whole spiel is to resell fascism. Well, not national rebirth, but more of, well, we'll see. Germany seems to be not totally not on board. So, We will talk about AFD. Oh, well, how quaint. How quaint. All right, let's get into it then. How exciting. Lauren, my favorite thinker, interviewed by my favorite interviewer. Wait, this is from 2018? This interview? Damn, it's actually pretty fresh. Okay, let's go. Let's watch it together, like a family. So excited. My favorite philosopher, my favorite journalist. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be informative. This is gonna be education. I'm gonna have a dense stream of education material here. Six years ago, Lauren Southern posted to her YouTube channel. Oh yeah, Lauren Southern is part of the whole tenant thing, but we're not talking about tenant today. We have more important things to talk about now. Documentary about Russia. Apparently, she really relies on personal translators of Alexander Dugin for factual and, let's not forget, very impartial translation. From Russia with Love, Lauren Southern and Brittany Pettibone. Pettibone. How do you pronounce this? Pettibone. Pettibone.
So, Mr. Dugin, what would you say are the most important...
What is with this audio quality? Is Lauren a leftist now? Sounds like very leftist audio. Lauren Southern is secretly a leftist.
questions or challenges that are facing the millennial generation today, particularly within the Western world?
What is with this audio? He looks so strange.
I think that we're living in the most important time of all humanity. So that is the chance, privilege.
Every time is the most important time for humanity. I'll just say that. Every single day is the most important day for humanity. The most important time for humanity is always now. Isn't that deep? But it's also true. There's no time like the now.
But at the same time, that is the risk, because precisely now the destiny of mankind is somehow put under question.
Already we're entering some esoteric nonsense, but okay. Of course, this sort of statement assumes that there is such a thing as destiny of mankind, which is a totally made-up concept and can mean whatever anyone can say it means. Just saying.
With artificial intelligence, post-humanism, and the latest developments of liberal ideology that became a kind of global paradigm.
Oh yeah, because China, the beacon of, let me sort of, yes, China is definitely a beacon of liberal ideology with its AI development. Sure, Alexander Dugin. Preach.
Post-humanism and the latest developments of liberal ideology that became a kind of global paradigm. The very nature of human being is put under question. So millennials could be the last human.
Well, of course, again, that sort of assumes that humans have some sort of nature that they must follow, that there's this destiny and nature that people must follow. But, you know.
Generation represent the kind of the last man and last women, because the singularity movement we are approaching to singularity, as post-humanists call that, is precisely the moment when the strong artificial intelligence will be capable to...
There's no such thing as true artificial intelligence yet. This has not been created. All we have is like a bunch of functions with responses. We don't have real AI. We don't have real functional artificial intelligence yet. Dugin's a fascist, actually. True. Humans have one destiny. One Stephen Bannell II.
Perform all the tasks that human being is performing. So there is a kind... We are approaching to the second wave of replacement. There is the first replacement by refugees and...
What? Oh, Jesus Christ. I expected something else, actually. Because AI, I didn't know he was going there with this. The first wave of replacement is by refugees and immigrants of the traditional population of Western. I actually thought that he'd say the first replacement wave was with industrialization or something with, machines replacing things that people used to do by hand. Those things were replaced by machines, by factories, etc. But no, it's apparently refugees and immigrants. I have no clue where this came from, but I expected there to be some sort of a logical follow through. So it started with industrialization, people losing their jobs to machines, and now we have artificial intelligence to finish the job. But no, that's totally not where this was going.
Immigrants of the traditional population of the Western country, not only Western.
Jesus, I actually expected there to be some logical follow through here from industrial development to artificial intelligence, not from refugees to artificial intelligence.
Because this wave of the immigration as well threatens the other societies, not only Western.
Look at the biggest country that was literally built on immigration, the United States of America. Look at how crappy a country it is. Look at how weak it is. Look at how culturally bankrupt it is, and look at how poor it is. Yeah, exactly. Immigration just creates failed states, it seems. Oh boy.
But the second wave of replacement will be replacement of the immigrants by the robots. So millennials maybe are the last generations when their free judgments and free decision is and will still possible. After that, we kind of
What?
mechanical destiny, because
Mechanical destiny, as if the biological destiny is not enough for us. We're gonna have a mechanical Steven streaming. An AI Steven is gonna take over the biological one.
the destiny of civilization will pass slowly and almost unremarked to unnoticed, to the next kind of next type of being.
I so know what I'm going to make the thumbnail for this one. It's gonna be a great thumbnail. It's gonna be an artist. It's gonna be a piece of art. You'll see. It's gonna be great. Look forward to it.
Well, our problems are much greater than I could have imagined.
Where do you believe that modern conservatism in the U.S. is headed? Do you think there's...
What sort of an answer is that from an interviewer? To be like, oh, you got problems.
Next type of being.
Well, our problems are much greater.
Hey. Very weird reaction.
Have imagined.
Where do you believe that modern
Jesus Christ.
conservatism in the U.S. is headed? Do you think there's any hope for a sustainable right-wing movement in America?
I have changed almost completely my understanding of what American society is.
Of course, it's a bad society because it's a society built on immigrants and immigration. And as you know, immigrants and immigration was the first wave of replacement. So in fact, you could say that America paved the way to the degenerate fall that is coming. It was like the pioneers, if you were say.
After the campaign of Trump, not because of his victory, but that was as well very, very important, but because of the bold decision of majority of American citizens to support the agenda promoted by the.
Yes, a completely bold decision of the majority of American people, even though Donald Trump has in fact lost the majority vote and only won the election because of the electoral college. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Is that important? Is that important if Trump actually won the popular vote? Majority is a majority. The electoral college makes the majority, and that means the majority of Americans support his agenda. Oh wait, he lost in 2020, didn't he? Whoops. I guess the majority of Americans stopped promoting his agenda.
Trump. It's much more, that is the problem of Trumpism, much more than of Trump personally, because now Trump shows the limitations and the limits of his capacities. I think that he's hijacked already or taken as a hostage by the deep state.
Oh my god, Trump has been taken hostage by the deep state. Jesus. I wonder if we'll hear why.
The liberal elite globalists, but nevertheless, there were a completely new
Hello, vodka.
entity that appeared during this campaign, American people.
That's a new entity? The American people? Please explain to me. How is that a new entity?
And people from the populism. So populism, the term populism, is derived from people, il popolo, populus. And I think this populus, the real people, real unengaged people, unbiased people, people with its free will.
Yeah, true, real free thinkers with their independent media.
And its capacity to take decision appeared on the scene of American society. And that was the great astonishment, surprise, and the hope for myself. Because I don't think that only.
Aren't you against human rights? Didn't you say human rights is just an ideology or something?
Conservatives voted for Trump. I think the people, they were the last human being in the United States that voted for Trump, because the other part, the other half,
What?
is preparing to be transformed.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Voted for Trump, because the other part, the other half, is preparing to be transformed in something different, some post-human beings, because the image, the very image of Hillary Clinton was a kind of post-human horizon.
Listen, just because Hillary Clinton would be very hard on Russia, it doesn't mean that she's some post-human being.
Say. So that was an anthropological battle, and American people, American human being have won these people. So I think that is the great hope for conservative movement in the United States, to at least to start the real battle for the future, for the identity, for the society, for the values. But
Okay, what is the identity? What are the values? Like, one of the values of the US, at least the values that it tries to strive for, is human rights, no? You're against those. Those are the things that you fundamentally stand against. You said that in your debates, in your speeches, in your writings. A very specific understanding of what
it
human
is
being
obviously that there are many traps in this way, because precisely new conservative should be different. So it should take in consideration many aspects that.
I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this tonight. I think it's gonna be a series. I'm gonna have to post part 1, and then I'm gonna have to react to part 2, because Unfortunately, as much as I'm having fun, I don't have much time left.
Traditional conservatism ignored. For example, I suggest to search postmodernism, because there is a critic of modernity that is very important. Traditionalism, that was ignored in traditional conservatism. Traditionalism of Evola Guénon with
But there we
deep
go.
criticism
Evola mentioned. So it's not very close to Evola. It draws upon Evola directly.
of the very principle of modern Western civilization.
Give
in
it to
any
me.
sense.
Shoot me with the criticism. What is the criticism of the modern Western civilization? Shoot me.
I suggest as well the study of anthropology, of sociology. So many fields that traditionally was regarded as left, for example. But if conservative shouldn't be traditionally right. It should be, I presume, the new conservatism should be completely different. It should take the traditional principles of Western civilization, the foundations of it, and put it in completely new context. And that is the great challenge. So the great challenge, and I
Get
think
any specifics at all? We're just gonna get this vague, nonsensical. I mean, he's a fascist, so that comes with the territory. But I would like to get some specifics at some point, please. I'm gonna wait as I take my estrogen thing.
that in that sense, American conservatives, new conservatives, should discover the great intellectual heritage of European culture, as well as Eastern culture.
So it is a bit about the national rebirth in a way. What he is talking about here. You should rediscover your glorious past and sort of revive it, so to speak. Revive the glory.
Of Russian culture, of Indian culture, Iranian culture, because now there's not enough to defend what we have, because traditional conservatives, they defend the yesterday in front of today, and that is not enough today, because they win more and more. Our opponents, the progressists, the liberals, they are winning more and more, and we are defending now what we blamed yesterday. So that is a kind of one-way game in favor of them. So we need not only conservatism, we need conservative revolution. We should return to the roots of our identity. We should rediscover European logos, a kind of the access of our spiritual tradition. And we should be bold, we should be...
Just how far back do the conservatives have to go to discover these logos? Just what part of history does it necessitate to go back to?
We should overcome the limitations. For example, xenophobia, racism, on any kind of hierarchy between the people.
Well, how can you overcome xenophobia if you're so against immigration and you call it the first wave of replacement? That's a form of xenophobia right there. Just saying that those evil immigrants come and destroy the good Western culture. That's xenophobia. So you cannot overcome xenophobia with xenophobia. Actually, very similar thing applies to racism in this context. And you cannot be against any kind of hierarchy between the people because, well, you're a conservative. Being for hierarchy is, par for the course for you types. Also, hold on. Did you...
There's not such kind.
Didn't you say you were against human rights? Which means there would be people that have no rights and there would be people that have more rights than others, which would automatically mean hierarchy of some sort, of those who have rights and those who have no rights, right? No? Am I mistaken? Am I speaking nonsense? Inane nonsense?
There are differences, and we need to insist on these differences without creating a hierarchy.
But there is no getting rid of hierarchy as long as you, for example, are against basic things like human rights. These for hierarchy structures, see? But that's still hierarchy.
We should not repeat the errors of the past.
Wait, we should not repeat the errors of the past, but we need to return to the past?
Many people have heard
Those for him are qualitative differences, categorically different. Well, then he should explain it more. And even if that makes no sense. But then again, he is a fascist, so I guess I have to repeat it again and again. He's a fascist. And the fascist ideology is pretty incoherent. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, there are certain scholars that say, listen, fascism has to be taken very seriously, and its ideology has to be taken very seriously. It cannot just be brushed off as inherently incoherent and therefore, it has to be taken very seriously if you're to study it. And of course, the threat that it poses should be treated very seriously, considering how many people intended to follow it in the past, and unfortunately, as it seems, in the present as well.
your criticisms of the first three political theories, of course, liberalism specifically. And this may be expanding a little bit on the points you were just making, but I wanted to know what a perfectly healthy Atlanticist or Western civilization should look like, in your opinion.
We're going to hear about a perfectly healthy sea empire now.
It's, I think, that fourth political theory is very, very, very important. The fourth political theory is based on the criticism.
So basically, what I've been told is the repackaging of fascism. The fourth political theory beyond the fourth wall.
Of liberalism, it's evident, and that is main goal of critics. But that is based on the invitation not to fall into the trap of communism, second political theory, or fascism, third political theory.
What is the first political theory in his mind then?
And I think that
Also, what does that mean, second political theory, third political theory? Just assigns ideologies numbers?
real evil, it is not precisely liberalism, it is the purest form of evil, but the evil is deeper. The evil
Deeper than the purest form of evil? Can you even go deeper than the purest form of evil? But is it even factual? But wait. But fascism, because fascism is like arguably, I'm simplifying a bit, fascism is arguably a very extreme, there are differences, of course, there are big differences, but all fascisms have spawned in some way from nationalisms, So, in a way, fascism as a sort of thought started sprouting with nationalism, which means that can you really say that it was third after communism? Didn't they sort of develop and spawn alongside each other? Like, yeah, doctrine of fascism by Gentile, but fascism as a thing sort of was already developing before the existence of doctrine of fascism by Gentile. Gentile didn't, the doctrine of fascism didn't start the idea. Oh, I guess, fine. I guess if you make that case, but of course, I would oppose it a bit, historically speaking, personally. True, true, but I would say that those roots sort of developed at a similar time. I don't think you can just clear cut say, oh, this started earlier, this started later, is what I'm saying. I'm not sure if you can make such a clear cut distinction as he is making here, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's that simple. Hello, Glitch Master.
Is modernity.
Unfortunately, I'll have to finish stream fairly soon, but welcome. Welcome.
With the coming of modern time, with Enlightenment time, with
I mean, we're gonna get to that probably. We're probably gonna get to the third and fourth thing.
modernity itself, the science and the culture and education and civilization, to the West came a kind of shadow, kind of evil principle,
The evil principles.
something terrible.
The evil, terrible principles of human rights. Yes, I will never get over the fact that this guy openly says that human rights are just an ideology and that they should be done away with. And that is what he basically means when he says evil principles of the West.
That was the losing of the spiritual heritage of the real West. So
Whatever that means, whatever the hell that means, what is the spiritual heritage of the West? I have no clue what that's supposed to mean. Is it like rooted in Germany, France, Great Britain? What is it?
with the beginning of the modernity,
What the hell is the West to begin with? While we're at it, is it supposed to be the Sea Empire? Is Poland part of the West? Is the Czech Republic part of the West in this view? I suppose it is because it's not part of the Earth Empire or whatever he tends to talk about.
the West has lost itself, and all the rest were the consequences of this loss. And that was something most important: hierarchy, spirituality, patriarchate, the heavenly dimension of the life.
What the hell does that mean? The heavenly dimensions of the life. Knighthood. Knighthood. Wait, hold on. That is so incoherent.
Knighthood.
Wait, hold on. I
knighthood,
just
and of
caught
the
it.
life. Patriarchate.
I just caught it in real time. Hold on. And the rest, and all the rest were the consequences of this. So what was lost?
Laws. And that was something most important.
The West has lost something most important, and that thing is hierarchy. But just a few minutes ago, he was saying that we should get rid of hierarchy, get over it. Yeah, Sea Empire. If you were responding to Glitchmas that Sea Empire and Land Empire are a bit more complex than just white people, then it's mainly just white people, then yeah, I do agree. It's a bit more complex. But wait, he says hierarchy was that thing that was lost and was most important, but now we should get over it. But now I okay, whatever. I told you it's not about anti-hierarchy. I mean, he tried to sell it as such just minutes ago.
Important.
But wokeness is bad hierarchy. Traditionalism is good hierarchy.
Hierarchy, spirituality,
Spirits.
patriarchate,
Knighthood.
the heavenly dimension of the life.
That's that thing.
Knighthood,
Knighthood.
and
Knighthood.
what was during Roman time, Greek time.
It's Eastern European accent. I have a right to mock it. I can even properly recreate it. Knighthood. It was during
Time, Middle Age time, in all these ages, we had different version of the same world vision.
No, we didn't. We absolutely did not. The Roman times, the Roman, I don't know, republic and then empire, the Greek city-states, the Middle Age, those were very different paradigms. There was no coherent vision of the world, quote unquote, between these things. That's absolutely not true. What does that even mean? That is absolutely not true. Yeah, I can see how he treats history. That is absolutely not true.
Same Western spiritual Indo-European tradition with Christianity before Christianity.
It's true, with or without, with Christianity or without. He had to add the before Christianity because it would make no sense for the Romans, at least for a long time. It would make no sense for the Greeks, especially for the Greek city-states. The Christianity bit would make no sense. Oh boy.
Christianity. And with modernity came something completely different that was anti-tradition, anti-West, anti-logos. That was a kind of antichrist in our eyes.
What was it? Can you tell us? Can you tell us what it was? Was it the immigrants? Was it the AI? What was it? Not this reason he added, but due to unite various far-right fascist fractions. And that makes sense as well.
And instead of the heaven that was the earth, instead of the brave hero that was the kind of traders and low people, that was overthrowing of the hierarchy of the sacredness. That
Lower people? Who are the lower people? Hold on. Who are the lower people in this scenario? Heaven, that was the earth, instead of brave hero, that was the kind of traitor. Lower people? Oh, okay. Right. So the peasant class of lower people was basically ceased to be, which in some way in certain countries is sort of actually arguable, but still, that's a very bad thing, anti-Western thing. Damn, true. That is so anti-Western that people can live freer and better lives. That is unacceptable and unforgivable. I couldn't agree more.
low people, that was overthrowing of
See, empire is the key word of empires that led by merchant class.
the hierarchy of the sacredness. That was profanism against sacredness. So we Western civilization has lost its essence, and the heart was replaced by something completely other. Everything in the modernity was wrong. Everything. So the destruction of traditional states, destruction.
Destruction of traditional. Wait, is Alexander Dugin against the rise of the nation state? Am I reading this correctly? Because what are the traditional states? Traditional quote unquote states were not nation states. But that makes his whole spiel about immigration obsolete because people intermingled in those times much more. Different people lived in different areas of Europe and the world much more before the rise of the nation states and more closed up borders. Traditional estates, does that mean like the estate system in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, nobles, Jewish people, peasants, etc.?
Of traditional estates, all the
Jewish people in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth were their own estate, by the way.
three functional organization of the Indo-European society. Everything was sacrificed and destroyed in favor of completely new vision of the man.
Actually, you could say that everything was sacrificed and destroyed in favor of a completely new vision of man. When you discuss partially the Soviet Union, unironically, when the sort of Soviet man was supposed to be created that would have no loyalty to any nationality, just Soviet, but it was more complicated than that in practice.
Of the universe, of the nature, of the time, of space, everything was replaced. And that was great replacement, a replacement by tradition, but sacred tradition. So I see the positive alternative of the West as a return to the Middle Age.
Oh yes, what we really need is to return to the Middle Ages. Yes, that's what we need. Hold on. We might as well check it out now. Okay, we're gonna read this next time. Because it's almost time to end stream, actually.
Return to the Roman Empire, return to the Christian.
Wait, hold on. The Roman Empire was not Middle Ages. The Roman Empire was not absolutely not... What Roman Empire are you referring to here?
Tradition, return maybe to pre-Christian tradition. So every kind of this Indo-European heritage should be restored. But we could not blame one people for that or the other, or the confusion of the races.
Maybe. He defined before modern as everything was the same. Yeah, I mean, he didn't say it was all the same. He said there were different things with the same vision of the world.
We should blame the spirit of modernity, and that was the spirit that European man has affirmed. So that we should begin with autocracy.
So just wants a caste system. I mean, sort of. You could say that the estate system was sort of a caste system, but not exactly. Sort of, but not exactly. I guess sort of, but I would say, I'm not sure if it actually translates one-to-one, the estate system and the caste system. I would say it's a bit more complicated than that, right?
With a criticism of the other. But that was the error committed by us. So we should go back to this moment, understand that modernity was wrong decision in any senses, because technology instead of the real relations between human. And we have, with modernity, we have lost ourselves. We should rediscover our identity, Western European identity.
Yes, we should rediscover our identity, take away human rights, re-establish hierarchy with lower people, and be happy. Had some degree of movement in between the states, unlike the Hindu caste system, but so a bit different, but not totally. Yeah, I think there are definitely certain differences, nuanced differences between these systems. I mean, the person listening in is Lauren Southern and his partner in business. So yeah, Lauren Southern is actually already amendable to his ideology, since the person sitting in and interviewing is Lauren Southern.
And you should, or you'd better do. And that will, this postmodern or pre-modern at the same time, West will be really example. That the only way to make the West great again is to return.
Make the West great again. Stealing the greatest slogans from the greatest people, the smartest people. Alexander Dugin, the greatest thinker of Russia, steals a slogan from the greatest thinker of the United States of America.